Boom. All right. We are back with episode 101. We had a great 100th episode yesterday with Mason Jones. And now I'm very excited have another UFC fighter back on in Ramiz Brahimaj. I'm probably butchered his name, but he's taken some time off due to some injuries. But I've been a fan of his for a very, very long time. He's got a big fight coming up. And without further ado, I'm going to invite him on here. Just give me 1 second here. Still trying to get used to the software. All right, man. Man, thanks for taking the time to jump on. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, yeah, for sure. It's my pleasure, brother.
It's my second time on this software, so it is taking me a little while to get used to. So sorry about having to boot you back out and then inviting you back in.
Nah, you're good, man, for sure. As long as it's working now, it's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, hopefully it works. Hopefully we can get through this thing without any technical issues.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to start, man. How are you doing? I mean, this whole pandemic thing's kind of put a hold on, I guess, the entire sport. I mean, there was a period there where no one could do anything. It was kind of convenient for you in the sense that you were, going through some things that maybe we'll touch on a little bit later. But now you're back. We haven't seen you in over a year and a half. So how does it feel to have something lined up? I'm sure it feels great.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I've been waiting, chomping at the bit, waiting for this moment for a while now. And it just feels so good that I finally have something on paper, and just waiting for it to come to fruition. So I'm excited.
What was the training like throughout the entire thing? I mean, you hear a lot of guys doing more cardio. But what was it like for you, knowing that, you can't, like you said, nothing on paper. You don't even know if the sport's going to get back up. So what was it like to do those trainings at home?
It was rough, man. The good thing is that I did help Uriah Hall out a lot during this camp. So I was going to Fortis quite a bit. It was like ninja training. We were like in the shadows, just me and him training. Like when nobody was there, it was just me, him, Coach Safe. And I was helping him get ready for the Jacare fight when they initially wanted to do it on that Ferguson Gaethje card. So yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a wild experience. Now that this is like the first time that I'm actually getting to reflect and think back to it. So it was crazy.
So I want to talk about your upcoming fight. I mean, Max Griffin is, I think, on paper, the most experienced fighter in MMA that you've ever fought.
Yeah.
That being said, he has the most losses of anybody you've ever fought too. So I mean, there's both sides. There's advantages in the sense that there's tape on him everywhere. There's also the disadvantages in that he's seen everything. So yeah. How do you dissect him as an opponent, and especially with that time off?
So Max is a very tough guy. There's nothing that needs to be said about it. He's a tough guy. He's a seasoned veteran. The dude's been through it all. He's seen it all, and he's a guy that I have a lot of respect for. One of my teammates fought him, Alex Morono. So he told me the same thing. He's just a very, very tough guy. Keeps his nose to the grindstone. So I'm anticipating a very hard, high-paced fight with him, and I can't wait to get in there and mix it up with him.
The one thing that's kind of really been a change for a lot of these fighters is the audience, or lack thereof. A lot of guys feed off the energy of the crowd, and a lot of people find it's a distraction almost, and they find that they perform better without the empty arena. You haven't experienced it yet. So what do you think that's going to do for your performance, walking out and not having anybody there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something different, but, I've gotten the chance to corner guys during this pandemic, and also it's reminiscent of the Contender Series. So yeah. I cornered some guys in the Contender Series, and then of course during this pandemic, as I said before. So I mean, it's definitely it's a change. I personally think it's a little bit of a change for the better, but to me it doesn't really matter. Crowd or no crowd, we all have a job to do, and we got to go out there and get it done.
I'm sure you just mentioned the Contender Series, and I'm sure you've talked about it a lot. But I can't help but bring it up. I mean, you were scheduled to fight in the Contender Series, and then you had probably one of the most devastating news you could probably get as a fighter. It's not just a knee injury; it's something way more serious, a tumor. So first things first, how is that? Everything good? Are you cleared? Everything's good?
100%. I think I've been cleared since March of 2020. So, the surgery was A1, fantastic. Happy that I got to be done with it and bounce back from it. So it was really, it was a hard setback, in the sense of, being taken away from my opportunity on the Contender Series. But everything worked out for the best. And, I wasn't too bitter about it at all. I just focused on the recovery, and during that time, just getting better as a fighter and maturing as a man.
So the past year and a half has been absolutely brutal for you. I mean, you got that injury, and then finally it's like, gotta fight. Great. Then your cornerman tests positive for COVID, and you're out. So kind of describe that roller coaster of emotions. I mean, you're like, finally, man, I'm a week away. I got to fight, and then boom. So kind of describe what it's like to be pulled from it, and it's kind of out of your control once again.
I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But it's life, man. Things in life, they happen all the time, and sometimes with explanation, sometimes without explanation. And it was just one of those things that I just had to take it in, and hopefully this time I don't got too much to worry about. Hopefully we get me and Max get to the fight healthy and safe, and we both get to throw down and make a living.
I want to talk about your background for a lot of people who aren't maybe familiar with your background in mixed martial arts. You started with boxing and kickboxing at a very young age, and then kind of took up wrestling and jiu-jitsu in high school. What was the biggest, thing to adapt to when you started getting into the grappling? I'm sure everything is different. I mean, you're standing up, you're boxing, and then all of a sudden people are grabbing you. It's got to be complete different change of elements. And when you started incorporating it, what was the hardest thing to learn?
Patience, and just not rushing things, because I used to like rushing a lot of submissions, a lot of takedowns and stuff like that, and it cost me. And it's just patience, just making sure that I'm settling into positions and everything like that, instead of just trying to jump right on anything that I see.
You spent some time in the military as well, and I want to talk about this in a different way, I guess. A lot of people ask what military does in terms of your fighting career, but I want to reverse that. What did BJJ, boxing, kickboxing, how did that help you when it came to transitioning into the military?
Well, they both went hand in hand with each other, just the discipline that I learned from both aspects, the discipline that I learned from MMA and everything in MMA and around it, with the weight cutting, with making sure I'm on top of my diet, I'm on top of my consistent training and everything like that. And it's the same thing, uniformity of the Army, that, like I said, they went hand in hand with each other, and they made me a better fighter, and in turn, fighting made me a better soldier.
Do you think that's something that maybe that should be incorporated into military training, like jiu-jitsu or boxing or something like that?
100%. I'm a big advocate for, law enforcement and military and just first responders in general to know how to train and how to defend themselves, and not only defend themselves, but also learn how to diffuse situations. It's normal, when you fight, you train, you just become naturally, you become a lot more calmer, you become more cerebral. So I'm a big advocate for that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, it's definitely humbling as well. I mean, I was someone who, watched UFC, and I was like, I can do all this stuff. You go into the gym and you get thrown around. And I think it's important. I think it's important not just for military, but also like police officers and whatnot. I agree with you 100%. I think it's very important. And it's nice to hear that from someone who did serve for the country.
For sure. Yeah, of course.
I want to talk about Fortis MMA. I mean, it's kind of the past few years, it's really taken off with guys like you, Jeff Neal, Uriah Hall. The list goes on and on. So what's the secret there? What's going on there? Is it the brilliance of the coaching? Is it the community type feel within the gym? What is it?
It's a little bit of everything. It reminds me a lot of the military. There's always order, and there's always uniformity, and nobody is above the team, and nobody's beneath the team. So it's a beautiful balance that we have going on there. And of course, you pair that with hard work, you pair that with Coach Dave's brilliance, and everybody showing up on time, everybody working hard, offer their same goals. And, I mean, it's something special to be a part of, 100%. Something that I'm thankful and grateful to be a part of.
Who's your biggest training partner? Who has helped you the most for this camp?
Oh, man, Jeff Neal, 100%. Jeff has been there. Jeff has been there a lot for me. So, I'm just happy to return the favor for him too. But Jeff has definitely helped me out. He's going to be in my corner as well. He's a very solid guy, man. I have nothing but good to say about that guy. He's taught me a lot. He's helped me out a lot. And, just grinding with that guy and just seeing how he grinds and just handles his business, it's a big motivating factor for me.
His injury as well. I mean, I'm sure you played a huge part in kind of helping him overcome that. I mean, he went through something devastating, and you hate to hear it. As someone and close friend, I guess, what was your message to him when you heard about it?
I just wanted him to stay strong. I know he's a fighter. He's a warrior through and through, and he would make it through those hard times. There's no doubt in my mind. We've all seen each other go through adversity. We've all seen each other bounce back from adversity, and I think Jeff Neal is going to do a lot of special things, and he has a very bright future ahead of him.
He's mentioned his future. What do you think is next for him? I mean, he's right there, man. Top 10, top 15. I think everyone wants to avoid the guy. I mean, he kind of reminds me of like Ryan Hall at featherweight. Nobody wants a piece of him.
Yeah.
Do you blame him?
I don't blame him. I train with Jeff Neal every day, man. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I got to tell those other guys is good luck. I mean, Jeff Neal's a problem everywhere, man. I know a lot of people, they know him for his world-class striking, but just as much as the guy's a striker, the guy is exceptional as a grappler, as a wrestler. He's very, very strong, and his positional awareness on the mat is something to watch out for. So, my best advice is for the top 5. You guys either fight him or give up your spot.
Everybody's avoiding him. Everybody. I don't blame them, man. He's scary. I mean, his performance over Mike Perry showed it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the guy.
That's not even the tip of the iceberg. I mean, that guy has so many weapons. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't blame them for avoiding him either. Another guy who everybody seemed to be scared of for a long time is Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now he's a champion, and you have no choice but to fight him.
Oh yeah.
The only guy who I think is crazy enough to get in there and potentially beat him is Justin Gaethje. That fight's next weekend. What's your prediction for that fight?
I don't know, man. I mean, I have a lot of love for both guys. I think Gaethje is a formidable contender, and when you're at the top like that, every newcomer, every contender, everybody that's essentially coming for your top spot is going to be dangerous. And just as Poirier was dangerous, just as even Conor was dangerous, I see Gaethje posing a major, major threat. And especially at 155, it's never going to get easy. So for me to sit here and say, oh, Gaethje doesn't have a chance, it's a lie. Gaethje has a very big chance. He could definitely pull the upset. But in the same hand, I could also see Khabib taking him out as well. I mean, it's just the volatility of the sport and the way that things have been going. You don't know what's going to happen. But I mean, I would give Khabib just a slight edge, just a slight favorite, and I mean not by much, just because I know the volatility of the sport and I know how things go, and I know how much of a madman Gaethje is, and that's why I got a lot of love for that guy, and I got a lot of love for Khabib too.
Yeah, I love the fight. I keep going back and forth. The more I think about it, the more confused I get about making a pick.
Same,
I'm always bad at making picks, man. I'm always off.
I don't make picks. I don't make picks at all, man. I just watch fights and I enjoy them. I don't bet. I don't bet on fights. I've never been a gambler, man. So I just look at fights. I look at statistics and stuff like that, and I'll make a little prediction. I'll be like, maybe he might, but then again, I sit back and I watch the fight and I enjoy the fight, and I watch the men at work.
I want to take things full circle. I mean, you talked about your military background and everything. What has this sport done for you in terms of as an individual, as an athlete, and more importantly, what is the team that you're surrounding yourself with done for you on a personal note?
It's done everything for me. It's completely changed my life. Coach Dave has changed my life. Being at the gym every day has changed my life in every aspect of it. Financially, physically, mentally, everything. Just being there every single day. I'm in the gym day in and day out, and being there and just just taking it all in, being as absorbent as possible, and growing. The sport has taught me a lot about myself, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm very happy that I have it. It's been a major outlet for, like, it's been a getaway for me sometimes. When things get rough in the outside world, I could always just turn back and go to the gym, and it's like my escape. It's my escape from a lot of crazy stuff going on.
All right. Well, it looks like we got cut off there at the end, but I think the message is clear from him. The sport has done a lot for him. The team has done a lot for him, and you can expect great things from him as well as the entire team there at Fortis. He's I've been a fan of his for a long time. His layoff has been it's been extremely long, and I can't wait for his return. He's got a big fight coming up, and I think we just got him back, actually.
Yeah, I'm back.
There it is. There it is. There, I was trying to improvise. I was like, maybe I'll get him back. Maybe it's over. I don't know. So,
nah, man, happy to be back.
All right, I'll ask you a couple more questions, and then I'll let you get going here.
Sure.
So I kind of built this platform a couple of years ago by just making matchups. After every fight, I'd say this guy should fight this guy. And I know you've got a big fight coming up, so I don't want you to think too far into the future. But if you had one dream matchup, you just say, you know what, before your career is said and done, whether it's in the cage, outside the cage, you'd like to test your skills against one athlete, whether it be someone you idolize or someone you dislike. Is there one person that you're like, you know what, before all's said and done, I'd like to say I fought this person?
Of course, I never like to look into the future. I like to live in the present, and I would never disrespect any of my opponents that I'm fighting, especially not the one that I have ahead of me November 7th. But if there was one guy before I retired that I would love to fight, I know it'll probably never happen. But man, it would have to be GSP. To me, he's the greatest of all time, and he embodies what a true mixed martial artist is in every facet of being a mixed martial artist. So, if I had the privilege to fight George St. Pierre and share the same cage as him, I would love that. But it's a little bit too far fetched. But a man could dream, right?
As a Canadian, there's nothing I like to hear more than George St. Pierre is the greatest of all time.
Oh,
I love that.
100%. He's the GOAT. I don't know if there's anybody else in that conversation. The stuff that guy's done, he's came back, he's won 2 titles, and he's class act through and through, Yeah.
100%. That being said, you described George St. Pierre, you described Jeff Neal. For people who haven't seen you fight yet, what can they expect from you when you fight Max Griffin?
It's going to be an awesome fight. I like to pride myself as a hard-nosed fighter. I like to get right to the nitty-gritty, and I get down, I fight, It's what I love to do, and I always put on exciting fights. I've never been in a boring fight. I like to credit myself, and, I don't want to jinx it, God forbid. I hope I'm never in a boring fight in my life. I hope I'm always in an electrifying fight, and I'm always keeping fans on the edge of their seat, and that's what I bring to the table.
I love it, man. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and I'm glad you came on. I appreciate it, and best of luck, man. And try to stay safe. Make sure nobody tests positive this time, and hopefully you can avoid.
No, God forbid, man. Hey, I'm knocking. I'm doing all the superstitious stuff, knocking on glass, knocking on wood, everything, man.
All right, man. All the best. Stay safe, and hopefully your luck turns around here in a big way. And all the best.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
All right, there you have it. I've been a fan of his for quite some time. I appreciate him coming on. Look forward to his fight. He's an absolute dog, just like everybody there at Fortis. So expect great things from him. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you follow Bloody Canvas MMA if you haven't yet. Till next time, thank you, and I'll see you guys later.